Vicki Hoth, Education Coordinator for Handy Quilter, and I'm here in the American Patchwork and Quilting Crafts Lab, and I want to show you all about straight line quilting. Let me show you some quilts that show straight line quilting in different techniques. First of all, this quilt is just a small mini quilt, but it was easily quilted with straight line quilting. Rather than defining all the blocks, just straight line across it, and it was finished, and it's great. And it was fast too. Now here's some different techniques. We call these piano keys, or you can do your diagonal quilting. And look at the difference in diagonal quilting here. Straight line, diagonal, but they're all that straight line using rulers or channel locks, different techniques. And now let's show you straight line with putting them closer together, farther apart. It gives a total different look here. Using your straight line for cross hatching. And look at this. Tiny, close ones together, and yet it gives this patchwork kind of a grid look. Straight line here to give that a little patchwork here. It's a real fun look. Okay, some others. Look what I've done here. Do you see how this looks trapuntoed? It stands up, gives it definition, stitching a lot of close lines together and then leaving a gap. That really gives some texture to the quilt. Now, how do we achieve straight line quilting and get those lines really straight? So I have a couple of tips for you. First of all, on our machines, we offer channel locks. It'll give me the ability to stitch horizontal, so it locks my machine so I can only move it from left to right. So as I stitch, this allows me to be able to square up a quilt or just do my edge-to-edge straight line quilting all the way across my quilt. Look how easy this is. You can't even mess it up. It's like training wheels on your machine. It's keeping you going in the straight line. Okay, the next thing is to use rulers, and I'm going to show you some different rulers or templates that we have. Of course, straight line means that these rulers have to be straight, right? So there's different sizes of rulers that you can use, and longer ones, shorter ones. This is more manageable in your hand, but I want to show you this. It's called the line grid, and we're going to show you how to use that. But before I do that, actually, I want to show you these fun feet. So I'll move this out of the way. Now, if I wanted a 1/2 inch channel lock, I could use this echo foot, and from the needle to the edge is a 1/2 inch. If I wanted, say, 3/8 of an inch, from the needle to the edge is 3/8 of an inch. If I wanted 3/4 of an inch, the needle to the edge is 3/4. So rather than have to worry about maybe the lines on my rulers, which there are lots of lines on the rulers, I could just place one of these feet on and I get that perfect spacing that I need. Okay, another option is we have the square feet. 2 different sizes of square feet. This is a 1/2 inch, and this is 3/4 of an inch. And so it gives us spacing for those straight lines. But I want to show you another way to get spacing. It's so fun. I've placed the hopping foot inside of this square part of the ruler. You can do that through that little groove right there. Now, what I want to do is bring up my bobbin thread and secure that thread there. So we'll come back to where I brought the bobbin thread up and do a little bit of a tack. Okay, I also want on my machine to have my needle in the down position, so when it stops, the needle drops into the fabric and I don't have any shifting. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch down this line. So we're going to go ahead, stitch straight down. Now I need to create a space. So this is going to give me a space as I stitch over, and it's going to give me exact spacing. 1 inch, and then I'm going to move my ruler over, line that up with that solid line that I just stitched, and stitch back up. Okay, then I'm going to stitch across. That gives me my 1 inch spacing. Move my ruler over, line up with that stitch line that I just stitched. Now I'm ready to stitch down again. Stitch over, move my ruler over. But now let's say I want maybe not quite that much space. Maybe I want to move my ruler back, maybe to that line. So there are different lines. Maybe move it over. Let's give it that same line again so we can stitch back to that line. And now let's give it one more full inch. Move my ruler over. Whoops, we got to follow the ruler, right? See, that's the thing. That's a really important thing. Okay, so let's move that away. So you can see the different spacing that I get there using that ruler. Straight line quilting, it is so much fun. It is so easy. You don't have to think of any designs. You just straight line quilt. And just like this little mini quilt right here, you can take a great big quilt, a great big king size quilt, or any size you want, do straight line across it, and guess what? You have finished a quilt in no time at all, and it is so much fun.